Bro, no. I feel so all over the show, man. Hi guys, I hope you guys are good. Welcome back to yet another video with me, Mrs. Rex. This is gonna be another chit chat with Mrs. Rex, if I can say. If you are new here, welcome. I welcome you into this community. This is the House of the Rex, aka Captured in Love. I am Zandile Rakudu, married now 8 to 9 years ago. 8 years. 8 years. Been together with my husband 10 years this year. That is shocking. We spent half of our 20s together, so yeah, that's amazing. We have 2 kids together, one who's 3 and the other one is 1. So the girl who's 3 is Zoe and the boy who's 1 is Khaone. So that is me in my House of the Rexness. So welcome. Thank you for joining us. And if you are a returning subscriber, welcome back, and let's get into what today's video is going to be about. So today I'm going to do a hashtag story time. I know I had said I'm gonna do story time for the hashtag road to 100 subbies, and I kind of lost track of that and etc. So today, in honor of that, I am going to share a story about the time I almost got arrested. One, please bear in mind, this happened how many years ago? 20 years ago. I think it was 22 years ago. Yeah, I think it's 22 years ago. That's insane to say. 22 years ago, I was in grade 7. Yes, I'm old. I started school in the 90s. So I was in grade 7, and we had our annual grade 7 market day that was coming up, and we it was for, I think, the EMS subject. I think at the time it was called EMS. Was it called EMS at that time? We had HSS, and I think it was called EMS. And so we had to do like entrepreneurial stuff for the market day, where you had a store or a stall rather, and you had to sell something. So, and it was for marks. So it was an assessment that we had to do. So you had your product, you had to get into a group first, and you had to come up with a business name, and then you had to say, obviously it was not going to be a sole proprietor because you're not a solo entrepreneur. So then you had to say if it was PTY Ltd or if it was Ltd, etc. And then you had to then stipulate what kind of business you are, what are you selling, etc. So you had to sell something for the market day, right? So okay, me and my friends, we get into a group, and I think it was mostly my friends, if I remember correctly. We were friends at the time. Okay, then we get together, we're like, okay, yes, we're gonna do this. Then So we're like, okay, we had to now decide, what are we going to sell? And they were like, no, let's bake, let's make popcorn, let's sell candy. I don't remember what else, but like there were a few things that we had said we're gonna sell, right? So now, obviously, we have to go get the ingredients. So then we were like, okay, no, on this particular day, we're gonna go to ShopRite. This was in Valcom. I was in Aurora Primary School, and we were like, okay, no, we're gonna go to ShopRite, and we walked there. The closest ShopRite was Yako Zone 1. So to the people who are from Valcom or know Valcom, you will know where Zone 1 is, or the ShopRite I'm talking about. We get there, and there's quite a lot of us because market day, I think, was the following week. So we were there like, okay, we need to get staff so that we can, be busy with it in over the weekend, especially things that we can pack over the weekend. Then in the week, then we can finalize everything. And then Friday, we had the big market day. We are all there. My friends and I, and then there's some people as well who were there, or some other learners who were there as well, who were also doing or rather getting their ingredients or whatever is for the market day. Okay, sharp, we're there, we're walking around, we're looking, I don't know, sadly for me or unfortunately for me, there was a girl who did not like me. I don't know what I did to this girl, but she did not like me. For the life of me, I cannot tell you what I had done to this girl, but she didn't like me to a point where I remember she befriended my friend so that she can get my friend to stop being my friend. That's how much she disliked me. So she was also there with her group members, and they were doing whatever they were doing. I guess, we're walking in between the aisles, trying to see what are we getting, what are we taking, what are we not, what are we adding, etc., etc. We get into the baking goods side. We get everything that we need. I think we made scones. Did we make scones or cookies? I think we made scones, and I think I was the one who was responsible for scones because my mom is a great baker. So I think we made scones, and we had like the scones trays and stuff. So I made scones, and then the other ones made whatever. And we had icing that we added onto the scones as well, so that it's not just plain scones. I guess we do that. We get the ingredients, and then we now get into the sweets aisle. Alingat on my dot. We get into the sweets aisle. Then we are now looking, okay, what are we getting sweets wise? Are we getting like bulk packs, or what are we doing, right? Then also, now that I'm thinking about it, I don't think ShopRite was the right place to buy like bulk items, especially for like, where you're going to be reselling. But yeah, we're in grade 7, we didn't know much, we didn't know better. So in the sweets aisle, we're getting the stuff that we're getting. Then we get to these chocolates. They are called sweetie pies. They're Cadbury sweetie pies. I'll put a picture here just so you can see it in case you don't know what I'm talking about. So we get there, and we find this one every time with this guy, every time. So we get there, and then like I think it was like the big one, né? The big sweetie pie. Someone had opened it. Right, so I'm back, and I have a friend. So this sweetie pie, right? It's open, and it wasn't like completely open, but it was like open enough that someone can literally like break a piece off and eat it, which is what my group mates did. I don't remember who saw the sweetie pie first, but for some weird reason, I feel like it was me. And then I said to them, oh my goodness, this thing is open or something like that. And then they were like, oh, okay. They went in and they were eating it, but like not in a obvious way, but they would like go and then take a little piece, like you make like you taking or you're looking for something or whatever, then you take a piece out and then you walk past, then that's what they were doing. And I remember thinking, that's very slick, but it worries me. But anyway, so that's what's happening. They keep doing that and then they keep giggling, I mean, we're grade 7 and little schoolgirls so busy giggling like then this other group with the girl who didn't like me, they pass, and as they pass, unfortunately for me, I was because we were there for like a few minutes. If I remember correctly, I think a security guard passed and I was like, guys. And then they were like, oh, did we have a basket at that time? I can't remember if we had a basket with us at that time and we were taking stuff, or if we were just looking to see the prices so we can make sure that the money that we have will be enough for what we need to buy. And if I remember correctly, I think we were given like 100 Rand to buy all the things we need. 100 Rand back then was a lot of money, okay? So the security guard passes and then I'm like, hey, stop that. And okay, they stop and then the security guard passes and then they go back. Now this other group and the girl, they pass, and now I was fed up because I was just like, guys, we need to go. I mean, obviously I was giggling along because it was funny. I'm like, oh my goodness, this is crazy. Like they're actually eating this chocolate and nobody's seeing them. But I wasn't, because I was scared. At the time, I was scared of my parents. Anyway, so then we go, and I said to them, like, hey guys, stop it. And with me doing that, I literally had my hand in the shelf, pushing the chocolate away on some, guys, let's stop, we need to go. I don't know what I did with the chocolate that was on my hand, right? I don't remember if I wiped it on my windbreaker or if I just licked my fingers or something. I really cannot remember. But when they were passing, when that group was passing, that's when I was, pushing the thing away, saying, okay, guys, let's stop. And that girl, and then they passed. And I am 100% sure that, okay, maybe not 100% sure, but I'm 99.9999% sure that they called the security guard and said they are shoplifting. Fine. We then walk away. We go to the other aisles. Then as we're busy there, I see these two security guards, a man and a woman. They're coming towards us and I'm thinking, oh snap, it's about to go down. Then they call us. They're like, guys, you little girls, follow us. Okay, we follow them and then we go to the back. I've never known that ShopRite had a back that looked like that. But before I continue, it was like winter at the time and we had these windbreakers that we wore and it had a pocket on the inside. Ne? So keep that in mind. So now we go to the back with these security guards and they ask us, what did you guys take? Hey, Bo. We're like, no, we didn't take anything. What did you take? We didn't take anything. All of us saying the same thing because truthfully or technically, we didn't take anything. Sure, they took and ate it, but it was not in their person or on their person. Okay, so they're like, okay, we're going to search you guys one by one. And then they put us in these like small little cubicles, like changing rooms type of cubicles, changing rooms in those Chinese shops, those kinds of changing rooms. It looked like that cubicle. We go in there, they search us. I think I was like the second person they searched, if not the first person. And I think there was like 5 of us. And when they got to the 4th person, then they realized, hey, we're gonna need to search you guys again. And I'm like, why? They're like, no, we didn't realize that your windbreakers or your jackets have a pocket on the inside. I'm like, bruh, you searched me, you know I don't have anything. But anyway, I comply, I go in, they search me, they see that I don't have anything. I sharp game. Then we go. Then so then I don't remember if they made us sign something. I feel like they made us sign something to say that we did take something. We did take something, but we were essentially shoplifting, and therefore we agree that we are not welcome at the store anymore. Because yes, they had banned us from the store. They're like, we can't go there anymore. Obviously, I went back there a few times after that with my mom because I wasn't wearing a uniform. And I really don't remember how we ended up buying our stuff. I'm trying to think now. I really don't remember. But anyway, I digress. Now, then they let us go and they walked us out. Yo, guys, I was so embarrassed because now the people could see something is happening and they're looking at us. The girl looks at us like, I'm like, what is wrong with you? I'm pretty sure that girl had a demon in her or something, because what spirit was that? She just hated me for no good reason. Anyway, then, yeah, so it's the weekend. I say nothing to my parents because I'm like, I'm not telling them. If I tell them, I'm going to be in trouble. And one thing I know about my dad, he's going to give me a proper beating. So I'm not doing that. Sharp. Then now it's Monday. Monday, Corona Bao, back at school. And, normal stuff and all of that. I don't remember if it was normal assembly or if I think it was normal assembly. Then when we were dismissed, and it was the principal and the vice principal. So it was the principal and the vice principal who were there that day. Actually, all the teachers usually are there. I think they would sit on stage or something, and then they go first, then the grade ones, and then etc. until we get to grade 7. Then they're like, can the grade 7 girls please stay behind? And then we're like, hey man, okay, the boys, they will leave. You know most how it is. They leave, and then now we are left behind. And we are left behind with the principal and the vice principal. The principal at the time was Miss Sidra, and the vice principal was Mr. Hubert. Now, if you know these people, if you were in Aurora, you know these people. Like, we were scared of them because our headmistress was strict. And Mr. Joubert, everybody was scared of Mr. Joubert because he was like huge. He was this humongous man. He had this deep voice, like, oh, when he spoke. And he was very stern and strict. So we were very scared of both of them. Sharp. However, anyway, I was. So we sit here, we stay behind, we're waiting for whatever they're going to say to us. Now I'm starting to think, what if they are going to talk about us? But at the same time, I'm like, no, but why would they talk about us? They don't know anything. Oh, you naive little girl. Okay, sharp. Now that everybody has left, they close the doors. Grade 7s. We are very disappointed. The speech starts. We're very disappointed. We are a school that prides itself with well-behaved learners. And then they talk about, all the values and things of the school. Like, we strive to be the best and blah, 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 all these things. Oh! Last week, there was an incident that happened at one of the stores in town. Yeah, I immediately knew they were talking about us. And I was like, oh, heck no. They say, okay, no. So we're gonna need So that's what they say, and they say, okay, they do this whole speech, and then after that they say, we are very disappointed. There are a group of you who were at the shop, and you were shoplifting. Before the end of the, I don't think they said the end of the day. I feel like they said 12, before noon, or before first break, or something like that. We're gonna need you, or you should come forward and essentially confess your sins, confess your crimes that you committed against the store. And they're like, if you don't come forward, there will be big trouble, because we know who you are. And then everyone's like, hey, and then they're like, we know who you are because we have video evidence. Yeah. I was like, okay, so ShopRite called the school for sure and said, there's an incident that took place on Friday here, and it was your learners. Here's the video. Please deal with that, or something. I don't remember. I almost want to say Aurora kids were banned from the ShopRite. Because I remember there was something like that. I just don't remember if it was with Aurora, or if it was with Welcome High, or was it CJ? I don't know. But anyway, okay, then they talk and everything. If you come, the punishment will be a little less strict, but if you don't, there will be consequences. Yeah. Okay, sharp. Then they dismiss us. The moment we got outside, I go to my people. I'm like, guys, we need to go forward. We need to come forward and tell Mr. Jube, because we said that we must now go to Mr. Jube to go confess our sins. I'm like, we need to go to Mr. Jube, tell him what happened, and just say, Wuti, we didn't steal anything. This thing was already opened and all these things. And then they're like, no, we're gonna get into trouble. I'm like, but they said they have video evidence. They didn't believe them. I did. And then we finally come to an agreement that yes, we're going to go confess. I think it was immediately after assembly, or it was at break time. We're like, okay, let's go. We go to the office. We stand outside the offices. We didn't go inside. We stand outside the office, and now they are, having second thoughts about it. I'm like, guys, we can't do this. We need to go in. We need to go confess. We don't want to get into trouble. What if they expel us or suspend us? So we need to say something. If maybe they wanted to expel us, maybe they'll say we will get suspended. But if they wanted to suspend us, maybe they'll say that they will just what's the word? We'll get detention or something, lesser sentences. So guys, let's do something about it. Alright, fine. They all agree. And then we go to the receptionist and we say, no, we want to see Mr. Jube. It's in connection to the incident that happened last week at ShopRite. She's like, okay, no, I'll call him. And then we stand outside. Then I'm trying to remember if he came outside to us, or if he called us into his office. But I have a feeling that he came outside, because I remember standing outside. And now, this girl who didn't like me somehow was there, and I remember her witness was that I was the instigator. Yo, I'm telling you, that girl was sent just to test me, because what do you mean? Yo, Moto Areno, it was Zandile. I saw her. She's the one who started it, who opened it, and all these. I'm like, what? But anyway, the important thing is we confessed, ne? And then they're like, okay. Yes, I truly cannot remember what the other people's punishment was. I feel like because of that girl's confession. Oh, I remember, yes. By the time we went, someone had already went, and it was that girl. she had already went and said, I know who it was. And she named, I don't know if she named all of us or if she named me and said, I'm the one who did it. And then the other ones came, towards the end before the security guard came or something like that. So I think that's why I ended up being the one who was in trouble and had all this stuff that I needed to do. But I'm getting ahead of myself. So now they're like, okay, we're going to call your parents. I'm like, no, please don't. One thing about my dad. My dad was super strict. Not even was. He is a super strict man. But what I mean by was, or in this context, because it was years ago, he was very strict. I remember my brother once in high school, he got into trouble for something. And the principal called my dad. And my dad literally said, expel him if you must. Hey, Batu! I remember my brother coming back and he was like, hey, this man was saying, they must expel me and all these things. But my brother was quite a nuisance in high school. Anyway, so now I'm thinking, oh my goodness, my dad is going to come and it's going to be bad. And now, he will never look at me the same way again. I mean, I had always been that child who was like all over the show in terms of energy and, running around. I know where Zoe gets it now. But he never, it was never in a it was never in a way that I would get into trouble, So anyway, the day comes now for the meeting. My dad comes in, and I think it was only my dad. I don't remember my mom being there. So now we're sitting in this office, and we're sitting in we're sitting in Miss Sydra's office. We're sitting in the principal's office, not the vice principal. And she then tells the story. She narrates the story of, okay, this is what happened. And yes, actually they had banned the Aurora kids, I remember. They're like, now Aurora kids are not allowed to be anywhere near the near ShopRite, whatever. I know, my boy. Then Miss Sidra says they're going to give me detention, because I did come forward before they, sniffed us out or brought us out or whatever. And so because of that, they're only going to give me detention. My dad was like, just detention? No, you must discipline this child. These children need to understand. He went on a tangent talking about discipline and how, we are a generation that is full of mischief and all these things. And I'm like, why are you making this worse for me? Then Miss Sidra was like, yeah, absolutely, sir. I agree. And I'm like, oh, agreeing. I'm like, guys, isn't it enough that I'm getting detention? And then they were like, okay, I'm going to get detention. But my detention is not going to be your typical detention where you sit in a class and you have to write. I will not misbehave in class anymore 100 times or whatever. My detention was for a month. Yeah, it was for a month. Every week, I am going to be now the gardener. A moment of silence for my poor little hands. I had to be now the gardener, and not the whole gardening with tools and everything, because that's child labor. But I was then told that, or the punishment was, I had to now go into the front office. So we had the front office, back office, and all these things. So the front office was literally just where the cars would come in if they're coming to see the principal, or if they were coming to see a teacher or whatever. They were coming to the office essentially. And it was a very nice front office, I won't lie. It's even better now. And so they say that, I'm going to go to the front office and I'm going to pull out all the weeds that are in the grass, that are anywhere near the flowers. And I need to make sure that all those weeds are out every week. For a full month. For a full month, I was de-weeding the yard or the garden. Yeah, Aurora. Yes, I still can't believe it when I think about it. So I would then be doing that de-weeding every I think it was every Friday. While everyone was gone, I'd be there pulling out the weeds. Yeah. And then afterwards, then I'd walk home because transport was gone. My dad was not going to come to pick me up, and nobody was coming. Nobody was coming to fetch me. So then I had to walk home. Luckily, it wasn't that far. I think it was like a 30-minute walk from home. At the time, we had moved to Flamingo Park and no longer living in Oppenheimer Park. Yeah, guys, since that day, I had a strong dislike for sweetie pies. I would see a sweetie pie and I'd be like, take that thing out of my sight. Because of what it reminded me of. Because here I was being punished for something I didn't even do. And I tried to explain, no, that's not what happened. What happened was, this is what was happening. I was stopping, etc., etc. But they were not having it. They were like, And eyewitnesses, they saw you and you were the one who opened it, and then you were an instigator of butsotsi. Yeah. And yeah, that's my story, guys. That's what that's the story of me almost being arrested. Because I remember actually they had called the King ShopRite had said that they're going to call the police. And if I'm not mistaken, I think they said we called the police already and they gonna come and arrest you because, if you have stuff on you or whatever, something like that. They were just scaring us, obviously. And at the time, I didn't even know that you can't get arrested if you're a minor. Well, can't get arrested in the sense that you can't go to prison, like big prison or real prison. But listen, that day I learned my lesson. I was like, you will never see me anywhere near ShopRite. 1, you will never see me going to ShopRite with friends. 2, 3, you will not see me eating a sweetie pie. Guys, I don't even know what a sweetie pie tastes like. That's how bad this is. I had a proper dislike for sweetie pies, and I was like, I want nothing to do with those chocolates, because I got into trouble for something I didn't even do. So even if a person would call me sweetie pie, I'd be like, I'm not sweetie pie. Yo, trauma. But yeah, that's what happened. And yeah, I you would think actually I learned my lesson completely, but I remember a friend taught me how to shoplift chocolate in this other local store in Flamingo Park. I will leave it at that. I'm not going to tell that story. But yes, I have shoplifted before, and I shoplifted chocolate. I think it was like 3 times. Yeah, about 3 times that I've done it. This friend, she did it for the thrill. I did it because I was like, okay, I want to be cool. One thing about me back then, I was a people pleaser. But anyway, guys, that's today's story. I got detention for something I didn't even do, and I was disliked strongly by some girl who I didn't even hang out with. But moral of the story of today, if you see people trying or eating chocolates and sweets in the shelves, don't try to stop them. Just walk away. If you see something, say something. That's today's word. Word of the day. If you see something, say something. All right, guys. That is today's story. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it made you laugh. And you got to know me just a little bit more in terms of my upbringing, the things I did at school, but also how old I am. Like, I am quite old. So please do comment in the comment section, or leave a comment in the comment section and tell me your stories where you were almost caught, or you were caught stealing and you got into like proper trouble where you were banned even from the store. But yeah, guys, thank you so much. We are almost at 100 subbies. We continue to grow, and let's build this community together. All right. Have a great weekend. If you're going to the recording, enjoy the recording. The CRC music or CRC band music, CRC music is recording their live album. So if you are going there, you must enjoy. If you are not, you're going to be streaming. Also enjoy, because it's gonna be nice. But yeah, have a great weekend. Like, subscribe, comment, and remember, click that notification bell so you can get reminded or get notified for all my posts that I post, and be seeing you around. Thank you so much. Bye, guys.